Hey, YouTube, it's your girl, Kathy, the above the knee amputee, the legless amputee diva. That's me. We are going for part 3 tonight of my journey of childhood rape and me losing my legs. I think we're going to do a recap. Last night we talked about the rape and we ended up with me on the highway. Well, I grew up looking for love in all the wrong places and all the wrong people because of rape as a child. You would think that I would have been distant from men, or I didn't want to be with a man because I had been raped by men, but I was drawn to men. I wanted a man to fill that void in my heart, because already my father had already left, so I wanted a man to fill that void. I wanted him to love me. So, I went, every man I got, they broke my heart. They broke my heart, that's what happened. So now, I was at 40 years old, and I met this guy on an online dating site, and we decided to meet up in Orlando. I lived in Miami, he lived in Jacksonville. So I'm driving to meet him, and my tire blew out. After my tire blew out, I ended up on the side of the road. As a result, it was 2 people that stopped to help me. The husband, it was a husband and wife. So he pushed the car out the road, and then he said, if you got a spare, I can put the tire on. I said, okay, thank you. So I stepped out the car. I remember because I had on all black. I was clean, y'all. And I went twisting to the back, opened up the trunk. Soon as I opened up the trunk and he pulled that tire out, bam, I was hit. Reckless driver hit me. I slid down. It didn't hurt. I had this strange look on my face like, what just happened? And I went unconscious. When I woke up, I was on the grass and I heard people talking. And I kept hearing them saying, give us some names and numbers, of people we can call. And I kept saying, my leg's tight. Why my legs feel so tight? Why my legs so tight? And they was like, a car hit you, but give us some names and number. They didn't say you had just lost your legs. They never said that. I guess they didn't want me to go in the shop. So, finally, air rescue got there. They take me to the nearest trauma hospital, which was Holmes Regional. I'm in the operating room. They supposedly had put me to sleep. I hear the doctors talking, and they say, poor thing, legs crushed. Lost both her legs. And they say, oh my God, her bottom is covered in red ants. So I'm trying to rock and shake myself, trying to let them know I'm woke. So I finally, dozed off. And then, after that, I wake up in intensive care. And I remember what the doctor said, that I didn't have any legs. So I'm like, maybe I was dreaming. And I woke up, I sat up, and I look, and I say, oh, I don't have any legs. I laid back down. I say, well, I guess this is the way God wants me to be. And I went back to sleep. So that was my first day that I went into denial. The doctors would come in every day and ask was I all right, because I was always smiling. I was always happy, but I was always a person. I smiled when I was sad. I smiled when I was happy. I smiled when I was angry. I smiled when you hurt my feelings. So you never knew. If you didn't really, really know me, you didn't know what was wrong with me. But the psychologists and the psychiatrists and the counselors just come in the room and they would say, if you need to scream, if you need to holler, you do it, because right now you're in denial and it's going to hit you all of a sudden. And if you don't show your emotions and if you don't grieve, you're going to end up back in the hospital. And I'm looking at them like, you don't know what you're talking about. When I stayed in the hospital. I stayed in the hospital 2 weeks, and I stayed in Miami rehab. They shipped me back to Miami, and I stayed in Jackson rehab for 2 weeks. And they got me back together quick. And I went home on a Friday. On that Sunday, y'all, reality hit me. I was crying in that room. I was boohoo crying. And I was like, God, forgive me. I don't know what I have done to make you so angry. I already felt rejected and abandoned with legs. Now you have left me here with no legs to be rejected and abandoned some more. I already felt like nothing with legs. I felt like I didn't have no purpose with legs, God. Now you're going to take my legs. I felt like a part of my womanhood had been taken. Boy, that thing was bothering me. But y'all, I was trying to take my life after that. The life that God had saved. Because on the highway, the people that stopped, 7 of them were in the medical field. One was a trauma room doctor from Orlando, and his wife was a registered nurse. And the rest of them were in the medical field. And now, the life that God had saved, I was trying to take it. I was mad because he kept me alive. It's like reality sat in. I'm like, why you got me living like this? So I was trying to take my life every other night. I'm taking handful of pills, my heart beating fast, my head spinning, and I'm just laying in the bed like, this is it, I'm going to be dead tonight. And guess what? I'm right here on YouTube. And I did it over and over again. I did not want to live like this with no legs. But God had a purpose. I finally, maybe after a year later, I started reading my Bible. I started praying, and it helped me because when I remember calling the police one time, and I told them I want to commit suicide, and they came out to the house, took me to crisis in Miami. They took me to see the doctor, and the doctor said, "Well, it took you a year to get here. What took you so long?" He said, because most people that lose their legs, they come quicker from trauma like that. He said, "So what you been doing?" I said, "Well, I read my Bible. I pray." He said, "Guess what? It's working for you. Keep doing it." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And they let me go home. They said, a person that calls and say they want to commit suicide, they're seeking help. They want help. And that's true. You got to know when people are depressed and when they're seeking for help. Don't ignore them. But that's what the doctors did for me. And another thing, y'all, on that highway when I lost my legs, I didn't feel no pain. I was like in and out of consciousness. God did not let me feel no pain. Everybody kept saying, it was because you was in shock. No, God gets all the credit. I didn't feel no pain. The doctor said I was covered in red ants. And y'all know back in the days when you step in red ants, they bite you immediately. Not one red ant bit me. I had a big scar in my face where I fell on my face. When I lost my legs, I fell on my face. I had a big scar. God cleared up the scar, everything. I don't have no scars in my face. It was big and round on my face. And I should look in the mirror, I'd be like, boy, I'm going to have this for the rest of my life. And God cleared that thing up. God gave me a confidence. Everything that sexual abuse took away from me, God gave it back to me when I got in a wheelchair. When I lost my legs. Isn't that something? He gave it back to me when I lost my legs. I guess you say, well, how? Because, you would think, normally you see people in wheelchairs, they sad and they depressed and, all of that. But God gave me confidence. He put me in a position, just check it out. I'm sitting in a wheelchair. I'm in a position where people are going to stare at you all the time because they're going to be like, oh, look at that person with no legs. But no, they looking at me like, wow. She get in her car by herself. She does everything by herself. I have nothing to complain about. Look at me. No legs. None. None. No legs. God did that. So tomorrow, we are going to talk about some more about the sexual abuse, we're going to talk about the negative effects and talk about and the positive things that come out of it, how to get help for it, because I did start going to counseling. For the first 5 years after I lost my legs, to be honest, I struggled a lot. I was like off and on. I had more bad days and good days. But when I moved to North Carolina in 2012, the days were bad, but then they started getting better and better and better and better. So I started, reading my word more, praying more, and God began to give me talents. The talents that I already had these talents when I was walking. I knew how to bake, I knew how to do this, I knew how to do that. But then everything now, I own my own business. It's called Exquisite Women Boutique. I own my bakery, especially sweet homemade pound cakes. I wrote a book. Where's my book? Where's my book? I want to show y'all the book. What did I do with the book? Okay. Oh, right here. Sorry. Right here. My book, From Tragedy to Triumph. Lost my legs to recover my life. Yes. Lost my legs to recover my life. That's a big meaning. Everything that sexual abuse took away from me, I got it all back when I lost my legs. That's how good God is. Yeah, I know it don't make sense to the natural mind, but the spiritual mind, it makes sense. So tomorrow, we're going to do some more talking. Part 4. This thing going to get better and better. Now I'm going to talk. We done talked about all the bad. We're going to talk about the good stuff. How to overcome sexual abuse. How, because a lot of adults, they still struggle with it. They, because it's that well-kept secret. It's that family secret. Because Uncle so-and-so did it. Brother so-and-so did it. Bishop so-and-so did it. So I can't tell that secret. But it ain't your secret to keep. No. You got to get free. Because whatever you keep secret, the devil can keep you in bondage. You got to get him back your secret. It wasn't your fault. No. So if you like this video, subscribe to the bottom. If you want to purchase my book, From Tragedy to Triumph, right there. Let me see, kind of get y'all a better look. I'm trying to focus. And right there. You can purchase it at the link at the bottom. From Tragedy to Triumph, Lost My Legs to Recover My Life, and even check out my blogs. And from Free to Speak Freely, it talks about all what I went, all what I dealt with and how I overcame vulnerability, accepting the help, and sexual abuse that well kept secret. I start off telling you the bad, but then at the end it encourages you. Each of the blogs, it encourages you. So take the in your leisure time, take the time and read it. It's really going to encourage you. So I'm here to encourage you. So I'm your girl, Kathy, above the knee amputee. The legless amputee diva. I am 52 years old. I would have never made 52 years old if I hadn't lost my legs, y'all. Because them old legs I had, they was taking me straight to hell. They wasn't taking me in no good places. They were taking me in bad places. So, you see me in this wheelchair? Let me let y'all give y'all a good look. Let me put the phone right here. Let y'all see me. See my legs, no legs, no legs. See, can I stand up a little bit so on my pillow and y'all can see. I lock my wheelchair and there you go, right there. Now, this is me, your girl, the amputee diva. So, y'all subscribe to my videos, and I will be back tomorrow night with part 4. I love you guys, and y'all know my motto. Giving up is never an option. Never, 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 never. We are moving forward. Good night.